Arman Tsarukyan is out of the fight against Islam Makhachev due to a back injury which has caused a significant shake-up in the UFC lightweight division. Makhachev is now set to fight Renato Moicano on short notice, a change that dramatically alters the dynamics of the event. Originally, Moicano was scheduled to fight Beneil Dariush, but with Tsarukyan's injury, Moicano, who weighed in at 155 pounds, will now step in as a last-minute replacement. This is an important aspect of the fight because if Moicano had missed weight, he would not have been eligible to compete for the title. However, Moicano's successful weight cut ensures that he is still eligible for the championship bout if either of the headlining fighters were to pull out of their fight, as is the case with Tsarukyan's withdrawal. This situation highlights the critical importance of fighters making championship weight. Fighters may not always be able to predict when a major contender or title challenger will pull out, so having a backup plan is key. Moicano, who is stepping in at the last minute, had been preparing for a 3-round fight with Dariush. Now he will have to prepare for a 5-round championship bout, which only adds to the difficulty of stepping in on such short notice. In a high-stakes event like this, it's crucial for fighters to be ready for unexpected circumstances, and unfortunately, for Tsarukyan, an injury meant he couldn't compete in what was supposed to be his big opportunity for a title. It's surprising that the UFC did not have a backup fighter lined up, especially considering the importance of the event. Typically, in major title fights, the UFC will have a backup fighter on standby just in case one of the main event participants is forced to withdraw. Makhachev versus Tsarukyan was supposed to be one of the most anticipated fights of the year, being the first pay-per-view event of the year. Fighters like Volkan Oezdemir, Diego Lopez, or even someone like Charles Oliveira or Max Holloway could have been logical backup options for such a big fight. These fighters could have more easily cut to 155 pounds if necessary, and they would have been ready to step in if Makhachev or Tsarukyan were to pull out. It's rare to see the UFC caught off guard like this, and it raises questions about why they didn't have a backup plan in place for this high-profile event. The loss of Tsarukyan from the card is a big disappointment. He was one of the most highly touted prospects in the lightweight division and was seen as one of the few fighters who could challenge Makhachev's dominance. Tsarukyan had been vocal about his desire to win the title and cement his legacy as a champion, so it's especially frustrating for both Tsarukyan and the fans who were looking forward to this fight. With Tsarukyan out, Makhachev now faces Moicano, and while Moicano is a skilled fighter, there's a clear gap in terms of fighting styles, skills, and preparation. Respect to Moicano for taking the fight on short notice, but this is a huge step up for him. Moicano is an experienced and talented grappler, but he doesn't have the same skill set or versatility that Makhachev possesses. On the feet, Makhachev's striking is more dangerous, and his wrestling is among the best in the world. Moicano, while he has had solid wins in the past, most notably his victories over Benson Dennis and Jalen Turner, doesn't have the tools to compete with Makhachev in the same way Tsarukyan might have. Moicano lacks the wrestling skills to consistently take Makhachev to the ground and control him, and even if he does, Makhachev's jiu-jitsu is far superior. It's hard to imagine Moicano being able to keep Makhachev off of him for long periods, especially given Makhachev's ability to close distance and neutralize his opponents. Looking at Moicano's previous performances, he has some impressive wins, but none of those fighters compare to Makhachev. Jalen Turner, in particular, gave Moicano trouble early in their fight with his southpaw stance and effective body kicks. Makhachev is also a southpaw and has an excellent left body kick, so it's likely he will use similar strategies to exploit Moicano's weaknesses. Makhachev's combination of striking and grappling is just too well-rounded for Moicano, and unless there is a major upset, Makhachev is likely going to dominate this fight. Moicano's best chance is to try to stay on the outside and avoid Makhachev's strikes, but even that might not be enough. Makhachev has the ability to land devastating left kicks both to the body and the head, and his combinations are clean and precise. If Moicano does get hit with a clean shot, it's possible that Makhachev will follow up quickly and finish the fight. The fact that Moicano is stepping in on short notice, having trained for a 3-round fight, only puts him at a further disadvantage. In a 5-round fight, Makhachev has the endurance and control to wear Moicano down over time, leading to a likely finish in the later rounds. I'm predicting that Makhachev will win by 3rd-round submission, as he will likely drop Moicano with his striking and then finish him on the ground with his superior grappling. Looking forward, the UFC lightweight division is in a state of flux. Makhachev's dominance is undeniable, but with Tsarukyan out, the future of the lightweight division may need to see more contenders emerge. If Makhachev wins this fight, the question will be whether he moves up to welterweight, something that's been speculated. However, I don't think that's the best move for him just yet. The lightweight division still has a lot of talent, including Charles Oliveira, who will likely be in the mix for a title shot once again. If Makhachev wins, should Oliveira get another chance at the title? Should he fight Tsarukyan in a title eliminator? There are a lot of potential matchups to explore. It's also worth considering whether Makhachev will even be willing to defend his title against Tsarukyan again, given Tsarukyan's injury and the fact that he has already missed this opportunity. Ultimately, this fight will likely be a showcase for Makhachev's skill, but the lightweight division's future remains uncertain. If Makhachev defends successfully, it's possible the UFC will look to move him up to welterweight or find fresh matchups for him in the lightweight division. The situation with Tsarukyan is unfortunate, but the UFC will need to determine how to keep the division competitive and ensure that the best contenders get their shot at the title. The lightweight landscape is always changing, and it will be interesting to see how Makhachev's reign unfolds after this event.